She looks more like a homeless person than a first-class passenger. The mocking laughter echoed from across the aisle as Anna Miller pulled her hoodie over her head, dozing off in seat 12C. To the passengers, she was nothing but a pale, ordinary shadow. But hours later, when the intercom blared, "Is there a pilot on board?" Panic seized the cabin. No one stood up. Anna opened her eyes, rose from her seat, and with a single sentence, "I flew F-18SEs. Take me to the cockpit." She froze the entire cabin before revealing the chilling truth. Night Viper 12, the pilot long declared dead, was alive on this flight. The plane was an international flight, a red-eye slicing through the night at 36,000 feet bound for New York from London. The business class cabin buzzed with quiet wealthmen in tailored suits, tapping laptops, women in silk scarves scrolling phones, a politician in the back sipping bourbon like it was his job. Anna sat by the window, her faded jeans tucked under her sneakers scuffed and worn, the laces frayed at the ends. Her gray hoodie, threadbare at the cuffs, hung loose over her slight frame. No makeup touched her face, and her dark hair was pulled back in a messy bun, a few strands slipping free. Cheap earbuds dangled from her neck, the kind you'd grab from a gas station for a couple bucks. She looked like she'd wandered into the wrong cabin, and the passengers noticed. Their glances were sharp-cutting, like her presence was a personal insult to their carefully curated world. The little girl in 12B, a 6-year-old with pigtails and a unicorn backpack, was coloring a picture of a pony, her crayons scattered across the tray table. Her mother, Ellen, with a sleek bob and a pearl necklace that screamed old money, kept a tight smile as she watched her daughter, Lily. When Lily's water cup tipped over, splashing Anna's sleeve, Ellen gasped. "Oh, honey, be careful," she said, grabbing a napkin and dabbing at Anna's hoodie. Her apology was quick, almost too quick, and her eyes flicked over Anna's clothes, her lips pursing slightly. Across the aisle, a businessman in a pinstripe suit, Richard Holt, leaned toward his colleague, a younger guy with a Rolex. "She looks more homeless than first class," Richard said, his voice low but carrying through the cabin. His colleague Derek chuckled, adjusting his tie. "Probably used points. No way she's a paying customer." Anna didn't move. She just pulled her damp sleeve closer, her fingers brushing the worn fabric, and leaned toward the window. Her eyes were half closed, her breathing steady, like the laughter hadn't touched her. But her hand rested on her small backpack, tucked under the seat, and for a moment her fingers tightened on the strap, a flicker of tension in her grip. The flight attendant, Josh, a young guy with a crisp uniform and a practiced smile, passed by his eyes, catching on Anna's earbuds. His eyebrow twitched just for a second, but it was enough to say what he thought: she didn't belong here, not among the elite, not in this cabin of power and privilege. Ellen glanced at Lily, then at Anna, her voice soft but pointed. "She's fine, sweetie. Just resting." Lily, her crayon paused mid-stroke, whispered, "Why's her jacket so old?" Ellen shushed her, but the question lingered unanswered, heavy in the air. A man in a navy blazer, his hair slicked back, sat a row ahead, his laptop open to a spreadsheet. He turned to his seatmate, a woman with diamond earrings, and muttered, "I bet she's a charity case. Some airline giveaway for the less fortunate." The woman smirked, her earrings catching the light as she nodded. "Explains the sneakers. They look like they've been through a war." Their laughter was soft, but it carried slicing through the cabin's hum. Anna's fingers paused on her backpack, her thumb brushing a small faded patch sewn onto the side, a pair of wings crossed with a sword, barely noticeable unless you knew what it meant. She shifted slightly, her shoulder pressing against the window, her face hidden in the shadow of her hoodie. The cabin lights dimmed and the passengers settled into their routines, oblivious to the weight of that patch, the